Yo, what's up, everybody? Chris Douglas.
And Spencer Ellsperman. What's going on?
Yo, and this podcast, by the way, What's Trending Now, is brought to you by Acaudi Production, but is sponsored by Weekender Collective.
Hello.
Yeah,
I got
check out
the live well
shirts, dude.
Yeah,
See, I got the sun shirt. And what people don't know about these shirts is we'll get off on a real quick intro here. Yeah. But these shirts have affirmations in them, which I don't know any other shirt that has that.
Yeah, so like whenever you like go to put the shirt on, you know how you always roll up the little like bottom part so you don't get deodorant on the sides? Right there. Yep. Boom, a little affirmation each day. And each shirt is like themed. So like whatever like the shirt is, it's typically themed with
So let's start this podcast off with some affirmations. I got the sun shirt on that says, remember to keep the sun from setting before you've lived the day well. Be inspired. Wake up with purpose. And take the day head on. That's deep.
Oh, boy.
What do you got? You got the live well. Hit us with some live well.
I got the live well. So, explorers don't seek to find new lands. They explore to find new adventures. An adventure doesn't begin in a remote corner of the earth. It happens first in the explorer's mind. In the explorer's mind sorry, dude, it's coming off a little bit. Decide to take the first step or live with regret.
Yo, did that. Let's have a cheers and a chug.
Cheers and a chug.
Cheers and a chug. Let's go. Let's get this podcast started. My beer holes totally causes it to pour all down me.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes. So I cut holes in my beer so I could chug it easier.
Way too many holes. I'm just looking at his beer.
I kind of went.
You might as well just cut the entire top.
I'm trying to make a new innovative beer top. I don't know what it looks like yet, but
gotta go on the side.
We'll put that over by the fountain because.
Gotta put the vent on the side though.
All right, so topics. What's trending today? So today's top 5 searches that we were able to find through Google. COVID-19 talks about respirators. The difference between a CPAP and a ventilator. Ventilators are being they're very
scarce,
high demand right now.
Yeah, they're very scarce.
And CPAPs are kind of maybe going to save the day. Boris Johnson kind of got a taste of his own medicine. Ozarks season 3 premieres tonight. High five on that one, bro.
Dude, I am so pumped.
Oh, that was a week. That's too far away. Social distancing. We'll give you the there you go. Yeah, Thomas, how do you say his name? Massie? Yeah, Thomas Massie. Looks like what he was resisting against didn't help. And Drew Brees back in news. So donating,
but not
money.
For the reasons you probably think.
No, not in sports news. In good news. So, all right, COVID-19, hit it out the gates.
So
it's funny we're still talking about this.
This is interesting. I mean, I can see how it works. I can see how like a CPAP machine, can help and as like an alternative, like temporary.
Do you see what the scare is though with the CPAP though?
Yeah, so if you can spread it easily.
Yeah, so CPAP. So a ventilator is literally like from healthcare. That is when you get tongs and an anesthetist or a person who puts you to sleep medically has to intubate you and shove a tube down your throat to keep your airway from collapsing. And then the ventilator works like a CPAP, but it's invasive. And anything invasive also increase your risk of infection, just for a little side note. So they tend to not do a ventilator unless they have to. And you got to be like, you get a ventilator in healthcare when you are satting below 90. And that is if you had a CPAP on and you were still satting below 90 because there's an issue with your airway. But a CPAP is the Darth Vader mask that people wear when they have sleep apnea, which is where you hold your breath for about 15 seconds and then you go.
They're pretty common. I mean, I feel like it's
CPAPs are really common.
Pretty common for people to have.
But the thing with the CPAP is,
in my family.
Ventilators, that internal parts, you just throw it away when you're done. Like a lot of medical equipment's one and done. A CPAP,
is not.
I think you'd end up spreading it more than.
Yeah, because you have to like clean.
And that's kind of like that ethics battle between if you spread it and they get it, can they live with it and be okay with it? That's ethically tough. And that's what this article said. A lot of doctors have had a life or death situation in Italy, especially between who gets the ventilator and who doesn't, which, from a healthcare standpoint, that's tough.
That is tough.
Especially if I was working in pediatrics.
Their population is all, like, so much of it is elderly.
For sure.
I mean, they have the oldest population in Europe.
Dude, that would be tough. Okay, so imagine you got to choose between your mom, your dad, and your grandpa on who lives. Like that puts you in a healthcare perspective.
Yeah, I'm
not making you choose.
No.
But just to give people listening a perspective of what it's like in healthcare, they're like, oh, it should be easier. Like I worked in peds. If I had to pick one of my 3 patients to live every day, that shit is hard.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah,
that's really tough. But you
chose that profession though, right?
That's part of the nature. Like, yeah,
that's why you make a shit ton of money, and that's why you charge people a lot of money too. So
yeah, I feel like
what's your thoughts on that though? It's tough.
I say, fuck it. Do it.
Give them the CPAP. I still
feel
relate
like
to what we said yesterday.
I feel like those, you just have a lot, like whenever you're going to use them, just be prepared to have a big gap in between using them. Because
for sure.
I would say, a heavy routine of like multiple people washing it, like taking a turn of like cleaning it.
Yeah, they just got to increase the cleaning for sure. 2 people
like cleaning it a different way, and then
maybe find a medical centrifuge that doesn't melt the plastic or something. There's got to be some method.
There's got to be something.
But what also is scary is
type of maybe like put in like a hood of some sort and be able to like spray something on it.
But a lot of that stuff, whenever you clean it, the chemicals are terrible to breathe in. So then you'd have to. I mean,
it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
But if it's chemicals that we take in on a daily basis or that doesn't hurt us, screw it.
For sure.
Put more in us. You know what?
Yeah, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, I mean, our air outside. If you live in New York City or like in Tokyo or some city like that where pollution's terrible, like you're screwed from the get-go.
For sure. But then, it's all about frequencies and shit like that. So all right. So what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister, is officially made history as the first significant leader with the coronavirus. That has gone public. Because I say that, if I had to guess, how many countries are there in the world? Like 3, I was going to say 300, like probably 200? 200? Probably 200 countries in the world? I don't know. We can Google this real quick.
Say there's like 300.
So anyways, this is the first public leader to come out publicly that he has the coronavirus after he gave the biggest resistance of not locking down the UK.
Yeah.
So it's kind of karmatic. I also see him as a pioneer for not wanting to lock it down, which it sucks that it happened to him this way. But, that's through
the risk you take with this.
For sure. But how many public leaders, percentage-wise, do you think actually have coronavirus and aren't telling anybody? Because I have a really good guess Trump has coronavirus. And if that's what makes this podcast go viral, I think he has coronavirus. We could even ask the pendulum if you want to.
That's okay. Now that's
run with it.
That's an interesting topic. If Trump has coronavirus, I wouldn't be surprised if he had it and didn't tell us.
Oh, for sure.
But I don't know if he has it.
Let's see what the pendulum says.
I don't know.
Does Trump have coronavirus? Wait, I gotta.
Yeah, you gotta.
You keep going with the show.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll be over here.
I got this.
I'll tell you guys what I find out.
But okay, Trump having maybe he doesn't have it. But he could lie to us and have it. I wouldn't put that past him. But just I wanted to think of like what other celebrities have it that aren't saying it.
So officially verified, Trump does not have the coronavirus by the pendulum.
You heard it here.
Oh, sorry, guys. So, United States, it is verified by an Ovalite pendulum that President Trump does not have coronavirus yet.
That's what I said.
That's awesome.
I said he didn't have it.
See, I got a feeling that he had it.
You just had a feeling he had it just for
that's an emotional reaction rather than that was for sure an emotional reaction.
Boris Johnson, this is going to be interesting.
I think it's good that a politician has it because then it really allows you to lead by example rather than do as I say, not as I do, right? I mean, that's kind of like the karmatic balance of what's happening to him, I think.
That's true.
Because like we said, he was the number one person in the UK who was resisting against it, didn't want to lock it down. As much as I dislike the lockdown, especially in the U.S., it has been very beneficial for us, has it not?
2 other senior officials said that they were infected as well.
Ooh, okay, I like where this is going.
And then, obviously, Prince Charles. So, I mean, come on. Prince Charles got it.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot about Prince Charles. We talked about that yesterday. Oh, and by the way, there's 195 countries in the world, so around 200 was right. 300 was a bit of a stretch.
That's fine.
All right, so Boris Johnson. In other news, speaking of Kansas City, Missouri, right in our backyard, there's a new season of Ozarks starting. Yeah. So we're in Kansas City, Missouri, 3 hours south of us. is the lake of the Ozarks, where we should go
Springfield.
on a road trip one day. Remember how I mentioned a road trip?
Actually, our old intern was just there and is coming back from there
Oh,
today.
Sterling.
And he was
Shout out to Sterling Scott, dude.
He was having a blast. I was like, yo, we definitely need to go down to the lake.
All right, so who's
sometime.
cooler, our new intern or Sterling? If we had to vote here.
You know, I don't think
tough.
that's fair because we haven't had enough time with our current.
I don't know.
one.
I like them both.
Andrew.
They're both really cool people.
I like Andrew. He's really cool.
Andrew's
but we haven't
cool.
had enough time.
Sterling was really smart
We
too.
had a lot more time with Sterling.
Yeah, for sure.
Andrew,
Yeah, we lost our intern through the school stuff, but I'll still hit you
through
up
all
on IG.
this, yeah.
So
But-
third season of Ozarks. I love season 1. I don't remember much of season 2, but season 3 it notably says that it's a lot of a darker season, and it's cool to know the film and production aspect of this because I'm looking at all these graphics that were definitely shot in S-Log, and they have a blue haze to it, which gives you that depressed, darker feel to.
It gives you that lake feel.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the water.
Yeah.
It's the lake. It's everything's always blue.
But for
and,
sure,
like, watery.
whenever I do
everything's in
a
limbo.
color balance on a picture or a video, yellow is higher vibe. It's enlightening, and blue really hits like the depressed / darker film. Or I go a little bit of blue, progressive towards yellow, just to help bring out the light. But judging by the graphics, this looks like a really dark season. And judging by this picture I'm looking at right here on Daily Beast, they're having a feud. There's going to be a big feud between Jason Bateman and whoever the girl is who plays his wife in the episodes.
They've already had problems.
Yeah, for sure.
They've had
But
problems.
It looks like
lot.
there's a real problem because she's on the phone looking away and he's looking down. So
Yeah, and
I'm
watching the trailer.
and
right
he
now.
is darker than she is in the picture, which means he has a super dark character in this season. See, this is what video and production really teaches
They've
you.
been
I think
dark.
they've been dark, but
They've been the light to some.
However,
dark,
from
but they've also been dark.
But
and
from
sketch.
season 1, he got into this because his business partner made a bad deal in order they were laundering money, and then he fell into all this, and now he's just working his way out of it.
season 2, he was.
Oh, for sure. It's really cool to
the
see
script.
how. I think we watched a movie over this that was similar. Remember that guy who went to prison for something that he didn't do, but then he ended up getting in the game?
You're talking about Making a Murderer.
Yeah, no, not a Making a Murderer. This was the show. The guy gets pinned for something that he didn't do. He goes to prison. He gets into the system with all the drug lords. Then he ends up killing the drug lord in the isolation pen outside.
Oh, you're talking about.
That's about the same thing.
Netflix.
Yeah,
At,
it was a Netflix show as well.
Yeah, that was a movie.
So yeah, it was a movie.
Yeah.
But it reminded me a lot of the same thing as the Ozarks. Somebody who is a good person gets in the wrong situation, gets beat up by the system, and then lives in the system. Same thing Jason Bateman's doing. What are your predictions?
Sees the opportunity in the system.
What are your predictions?
That's more of what it is because he's smart and he knows
For sure.
exactly what he's doing right now, and he's like taking over.
What is your prediction for this season, though?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't.
Who dies? Who dies? A key character dies every season of every TV show. Who do you think dies? His wife or Jason Bateman? If you had to bet.
His wife.
I do too. I think she's gonna die.
He's gonna live throughout the entire thing.
For sure. He's Jason Bateman.
Or
Bateman.
he'll die at the very end, whichever season that they decide to do. He'll die.
Do anybody in the show gets coronavirus?
Oh, absolutely.
For sure. I think that's a good bet. All right. So next up,
or it's not the coronavirus, but it's some virus. Isn't there? Because obviously they're not going to say the coronavirus.
Yeah, for sure. They filmed 6 months ago.
Yeah,
too, so.
But there's going to be a virus, I bet, of some sort where bunch of people get sick.
Think so? Speaking of sick, we like to approach everything positively and from an open-minded perspective. Seems like somebody in the House was trying to take away our $2 trillion package to get us through the coronavirus epidemic. And it's funny, as we were reading this story, I get the Twitter feed coming through, which I hate Twitter. I never use Twitter. And it said the House passed the $2 trillion package for the coronavirus. And right on time today, our neighbor John is picking up trash. Dude, this guy's like clockwork. We gotta get a shot at John. So,
oh my god!
Did you find anything in what you read about how this guy, let's see, Republican Thomas Massie
from
was
Kentucky.
From Kentucky, as Trump says, a great state. It's a shame that Trump put this guy on blast yesterday.
Actually, is a decent state.
He put this dude on blast on Twitter. Like, I was reading what Trump said, and if I was this guy, I would not want to show up to Capitol Hill for a little while. Which, what Trump was saying about Massie was he was trying to get publicity for being the one person in the room who didn't want to agree with everybody else.
Yeah.
I would like to know 100% what his motivation was, because all that he posted, which tends to make me jump more on what Trump was saying, was he said he swore an oath to uphold the Constitution and he takes that very seriously. However, he was not detailed or persistent with a reason why. He was just using something broad like, I took an oath, that's why I'm holding up. But he didn't say what about the oath.
But did you see that that tweet was one of 11?
Yeah, and
so he's basically just quoting this shit.
Time out. To make it even cooler, this is 1 out of 11, but 5,555 people are talking about this. That is 2 synchronicities in one tweet. So it might have some significance, but I don't know. I'd like to see what the others are.
Dude, he's just trying to. You know what? I actually feel like I have to agree with Trump. He just wants some fame.
For sure. But
it's an easy way to do it, because why make sure the vote is in person?
And the news.
You're just that one asshole. That's all it is. I don't care what anybody has to say about the situation. You're just being the one asshole.
And the really funny thing is typically as a Democrat hating on a Republican, these are all Republicans in the news going after this guy.
That's the best part.
Which maybe he has some Democratic views, but I don't know. I haven't done much research on him.
He's from Kentucky. He
can't
be too Democratic.
Dang, dude. Like, I don't know. But it looks like whatever he held out on didn't work, right?
Red.
Yeah. But, I mean, and they're a blue blood school, right?
Yeah, that's the irony. They're a red state and their teams are
right.
blue.
I think we're doing good on today's episode. We're only 500 bars into this. And typically 900 is when we have to shut off the camera. So, all right, number 5.
Insane.
This
guy's ridiculous.
Today's video, number 5. Let's end on a really
All
positive
right, so
note.
number 5. All right, I want to talk about this one because I saw this one before.
Yeah, no, hit it.
So Drew Brees. Okay, we all know Drew Brees is like a great man. He's been, he's like a Peyton Manning. He's just like all around good guy. He's a family guy.
Happy guy.
He's a hell of a football player. Hell of a quarterback.
Comeback legend.
And he just signed, recently he just signed a extension with the Saints.
Did he really?
I think it was like 2 years. Like,
okay.
I don't know how much, honestly.
No, that's pretty good.
But 2 years he did, he got some, he got back with his team. But now him and his wife are actually
awesome
in the news because they are such amazing people.
His wife, Brittany. We got to say her name. Brittany Brees, BB.
BB.
Old BB and Drew Brees.
They have donated $5 million to help the state of Louisiana.
That is epic.
$5 million to the state.
And it's to prepare and deliver, not just prepare, to prepare and deliver 10,000 meals for the state of Louisiana.
Yep.
Granted, that is one day. That is awesome. If the whole Saints team did that,
yeah.
If the whole Pelicans team did that,
I mean, you at least get the starters doing that.
For sure.
Maybe not the backups.
No, for sure. The guys making $90K that are on the NFL practice team salary, you can do your own.
But yeah, you can all do your own part and everything. But yeah, I mean, that's been really cool to see. We've talked about this already. I think before is how Zion is paying for put 100,000 up for the salaries of the arena.
For sure.
But Kevin Love has done that. But the one thing I want to know, where the hell are these owners at?
Oh, dude, I'm glad you said that. So my pivot to this conversation was, so Drew Brees is able to donate $5 million because he makes $20 million a year because fans go to games. People watch this on TV. He's got a fan club that supports him. Yeah. Now he is returning karma and helping out the people who support him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This is called wealth circulation. But no, great question. The owners who are billionaires.
Billion with a B.
Really hasn't been reported on. I think Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban was one of the first big owners I saw on news who donated a large sum of money.
There was somebody right before him, though. And I can't remember who it was. But I remember there was somebody right before Mark Cuban because I was like, wow.
See what Mark Cuban donated. $10 million.
Nice.
Actually, that was after a. Let's find the actual real story. But I think there's a lot of stuff that these owners and people of high money could be doing. But you know what? Karma comes around, goes around.
Yeah, you just never know.
So Mark Cuban did $500K to childcare and healthcare workers. For healthcare workers.
I got you.
Because I've said it several times. I'm glad I'm out of healthcare because I would be working every single day right now is probably what is going on.
Yep.
Because overtime's insane. People are getting sick. If you're a pregnant nurse,
I would
you're probably
actually,
not working.
This would have probably been like the first break that I would have gotten from my old job.
What
Working at my previous employer.
How do you feel? How do you feel about Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, all these great philanthropists?
I don't necessarily have to hear about it in the news.
But what is the best way they can contribute? Is it giving money? Is it creating more jobs? I mean,
well, like people like Warren Buffett. I mean, he has resources. He has Bill Gates. He has the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
For sure, but
crazy things.
But we saw yesterday this nonprofit.
I think it's just more of like.
Because nonprofits, let's get this right.
There needs to be more helping hands in some way, shape, or form.
Because nonprofits have to hit zero at the end of the year. Yeah. This whole virus has really screwed up the stuff, but from what I know, they get their money towards January. So now they're sitting on a ton of money that they're like, oh, we were planning events and hosting this. Now nonprofits, I think, really need to step out there and create what we saw yesterday.
I think that's what a lot of them have been doing. They've been starting to figure out, okay, this is going to at least last like X amount of months.
I think it's a month, but we have about a 3-month rebound. Yeah. Recoil from it. Yeah.
But they're like, okay, it's going to take this much time. How much money were we planning on? How much money do we have budgeted in this time and to spend? And okay, we had this much. Cool, let's donate it. Unless we can use it in our own way to help something.
Yeah.
Like provide our service or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I think they're all really going like a great way about it. I mean, obviously Drew Brees is going to do it just because he's, just flat out donate to the state. And and when you put that on social media like he did, it's just like, okay, yeah. But I feel like there's a lot of people doing it and they just don't really care about the publicity.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, I was looking up something. I saw the Vatican in news. So it looks like we're underway of Lent right now in the Catholic faith because it ends on Saturday, April 11th, which answers my question, I think, yesterday of when Easter is.
Oh, there you go.
I think Easter is going to be the Sunday the 12th, if I had to guess.
Yeah, that's probably a safe bet.
Pretty safe guess.
But what I saw that I'd love to see was Krispy Kreme. You see what they're doing?
Dude, pulling out the Krispy Kreme donut. Yes.
Dude, Krispy Kreme.
Hit us with
for all those that you don't know, I'm sure pretty much every doctor and nurse knows about them by now.
Yeah, healthcare.
But Krispy Kreme is giving free donuts every single Monday until
everything goes until April 20th. Is kind of the
April 20th
day.
Or something like that. Or no, through May. They're giving them free donuts every Monday through May.
That's dope.
Yeah. Just all you have to do is go through the drive-thru.
What about videographers and photographers and content guys? I do have my old Truman badge. We could go get some free donuts.
Dude, let's get some free donuts.
Actually,
this upcoming Monday.
I got a couple badges. We could go just show the badge, get a couple donuts. Is that bad karma? I did my time.
You did your time.
I worked in the trenches. I did. I worked at Truman. I worked at Truman Medical Center, the worst hospital in the Midwest.
I'll just let you ride by yourself on that one and just go do it.
That's fine. Yeah, I won't drag you into the back.
I don't want to be dragged into this since I don't have a ID. But yeah, so that's awesome. All the nurses and doctors are probably staying real nice and happy with the Krispy Kreme donuts. What do you
think's happening with the coronavirus right now? We are on day 7, 5? No, we're on day 4 of the lockdown. I think
lockdown started. The stay-in-home order.
Yeah. So how are you seeing any difference? Like we went out yesterday, so we've gone on a walk.
There was a lot of people
to the Nelson. We shot some dope pictures. Which if you guys follow my IG at Acaudi Production, Prez, I have some really dope Photoshop composites. Ooh. But so then yesterday I even walked down at the park and there were so many people out and it was really cool. So I actually have a good social distancing story. As I'm walking down this hill, there's a park and there's two people talking, but it looked like about camera distance away, and it looked like they were filming a documentary because there was a couple. We still got like 200 bars to roll through. So it was almost a distance from me to this camera. You got a couple as the camera, and then this guy just standing over here talking to them, but they were like 6 feet apart. And I'm looking, and I go, wonder what they're filming over there. So as I walk closer, I'm just kind of lurking and peeking. They weren't filming anything. They were social distancing and having a conversation from 6 feet away and slightly yelling because all three of them are old. It was I actually wanted to grab my cameras and film this as how to social distance properly. And then we're on our patio before we filmed yesterday talking to our neighbor from across the patio.
That is true.
And
social distancing.
I was thinking about going over there and putting a camera behind her and putting one behind us and just having a quick little like, hey, how you doing? Create a social distancing video that is kind of like
that's awesome.
Bob from Insight, like a little funny, a little humor, but still gets the point across.
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
And then put in a company just to like have it take to a whole new level.
Yeah.
So...
that is dope.
All right, are we going to keep this one under 30 minutes? I only want to do one edit on this one today. I think that's a good idea. I got stuff to do.
Real quick,
hit us with it.
At the golf course.
This
past weekend, we had all the guys, our regulars playing in the morning. Yo, you can really cut that shit out. I'm done.
So these regulars were playing in the morning, and...
I'm done.
Unbelievable.
But... they always come in, drink beer, sit together, get shit canned throughout the day.
Shit can.
After.
Okay, we're done.
I'm trying to keep it under time.
You got 100 bars.
But, so after, they're like, well, we can't come inside. We can't drink beer. So we're outside. And they're outside drinking beer. They're all 6 feet apart. Have a picture of it. We'll go ahead and post that in here just to show you guys like the best social distancing.
All right, so we got 2 minutes. Give us the so takeaway today.
Real
quick wrap up. Drew Brees, epic.
Yep.
U.S.
Wonderful man. Already thought he was.
U.S. or U.K. Prime Minister, karma got you.
Good luck. Thomas Massie, don't like you.
Ozarks 3, Netflix and chill tonight. And COVID-19.
Just Netflix, bud.
I might be, exactly. Just Netflix. And then COVID, CPAP, and ventilators. We agreed that you probably should use both. Just clean them properly.
It plays out.
And if more people get the virus, they're still gonna get it anyway. So,
well, let's just see how it plays out.
All right. Give me one last takeaway. Boo! From across the table. This is Chris Douglas
and Spencer Ellsperman.
We'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you guys.
Tomorrow,
Make sure you subscribe and like and comment below.
Subscribe, like, and comment.
Yo, peace out, y'all.